a Canadian radio sanctuary podcast.
Frank Ludwig is here today. What have you been up to ever since, I guess, I was going to say Union, but Blam, or what was that other band you were with Randy?
Well, they changed the names every week, and finally I thought it was time to change the personnel, so I left. I guess it's only been a couple of months since that went down. I've gone out and recruited myself a fine bunch of loonies. We did our first gig past weekend over in Victoria, and we're going to be doing some jobs in the local clubs just to get the band tight. And we're doing a little recording on the side to start preparing for shopping for a deal. We've managed to put the fun back in it, at least for myself. I'm having a riot. Nice bunch of guys and aggressive players.
I know when you first joined Ironhorse that a lot of us were wondering, why doesn't Frank just do it himself? Because, you were, this is an understatement, but a very capable aid to Trooper and their activities in songwriting and singing and everything, and the songs that you did with Trooper particularly were a great asset to that band's repertoire. And why not do it yourself? Was there a reason? Was it appealing at that time to go with Randy with the Ironhorse? What was happening right then?
I guess it's comfortable. The thing in the back of my mind was we'd had success in Canada with Trooper. What I was hoping to do was represent myself as being something more international, and Randy had that connection, I suppose. As far as not doing it myself, you're always the last to know yourself. I probably should have had the sense to do it 10 years ago. Maybe I'm not that secure in my own, myself. It's reached this point. It always amazes me to go out and play, and I feel right about what I'm doing, but until someone says, hey, that was really good, you kind of go, oh, yeah? This basic insecurity, I guess, that musicians have is one of the reasons why they're still in the business. But it's a funny thing because you never feel safe. You always are trying to do better, and you're always saying, gee, did we do okay,
Well, I know, and you never hear the tape the way anyone else does when you play it back in the studio. Gee,
it's never right. Gee, we should have remixed and had that such and such. That should have been hotter, or this, that, and the other. It's a hard line to know when to say, let's do it, let's put it out. That's it.
Okay, what about this new release, Beam Me Up, Scotty? Could you tell us a little bit about the recording of it, where, when, and also the independent label aspect of it?
Okay, this song was recorded about 3 years ago, very early in the proceedings with Randy. And it's been sitting there, and a couple of people have heard it, and they kept saying, what a great song. It's fun, and gee, that's what I always say, There's been that classic joke about the guy who's just about to be sent away for life for doing some heinous crime, and the last thing he says to the judge says, do you have any last statement for the court? And he says, beam me up, Scotty. It was lying around, and being out on my own now, I thought, the movie is out now, why not put it out? It's a fun tune, and I'm having fun, so it was timely. It was done at Legend Studios. Interesting thing, there's no guitar on that track, which my guitarist finds rather strange. It's all done with synthesizers and voice. The song itself is meant to be a tongue-in-cheek kind of song, along the lines of Life's Been Good to Me by Joe Walsh. But we have fun with the tune live. When we finish the song itself, we go into a whole series of tunes that are kind of in the same feel, and it ends up being about a 15-minute song, I think, with snatches of about a dozen other tunes that we get people singing along.
Well, if you're using Life's Been Good and Joe Walsh as an influence to a degree, that's very positive.
Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, I held my nose while I sang the verses.
In Rolling Stone recently, Pete Townsend was saying that he wouldn't be surprised, at least as far as Britain was concerned, if the guitar disappeared within 10 years. Do you think that's a little extreme? You mentioned synthesizers?
Yeah, I love guitar. You know what? What I'm trying to do is we were talking about this on the way up, put the meanness back in rock and roll. And the thing that really gives that as far as the track is guitar. Keyboards, Sure, keyboards are the thing right now as far as sounds, and will be. They've really got that market cornered. But to keep that edge, that what makes it rock and roll and not pop is the guitar. I'm a firm believer. I do a little myself, on the side.
Oh, I know.
Twang here and there, yeah. So no, I kid my guitarist all the time about, there are 4 musicians in the band and a guitarist. But deep down, I believe in it.
Do you find, too, now that you have your own band, it must be a more comfortable experience for you that you are more of the decision maker? Or how democratic is the group?
I guess you should ask them, really, for that. The bottom line here is, just because my name is on this doesn't really mean as much. What I'm trying to accomplish here is a real band. We have a few other things to gel yet, but when the final band is an entity, that's the way I want it to stay. I don't want an ever-changing bunch of backup musicians. I feel that for anybody to reach their full potential, they need all the support of as many musicians as they can get. So this is really a group effort. The bottom line is when the group fails to reach a conclusion on something, that's when dictatorship steps in and I say, well, let's go for this, and really that's just expediency. And so far, I think, of course, none of them are here to speak their side, but I think everyone's real happy. Almost every night somebody has said, boy, this is fun. And we're really putting the fun in for ourselves back into the music.
You're kind of like Captain Kirk now.
Well, some people might say Captain Kangaroo, but...
What about singing? Are you the singer?
Yeah, that's it. As a matter of fact, it's a real learning process. I'm having to learn, at least in a club situation, to pace myself. In a concert thing, you do, say, an hour and a half show, you give 100%, and then they haul you off backstage and give you oxygen and put you to bed. You do an hour set at a club, and half an hour later, you got to do it all again. But I'm enjoying it. It's great not to have the physical encumbrances of the keyboards. A lot of people say, gee, how come you got a keyboard player? First of all, he's a very talented guy by the name of Mike Rowe. And secondly, it's so great, especially on some of the songs that are more intimate. We have a song actually that we do that Randy and I wrote called Emily, a ballad. And it's so nice to be able to just sit there and sing it and not have to worry about whether I got the volume pedal on the strings right and all that mess.
Yeah.
Even Round Round was frustrating to have to play synth and piano and strings at the same time. Now I can just stand out there and try and get that thing that came out of the heart out.
Are you doing strictly new material, or are you doing some of the old?
No, we do
a medley
all my
of
hit, a medley of my hits. No, we do some Trooper stuff. The stuff that was more applicable to me. I'm certainly not going out trying to do a bunch of Trooper songs per se. We do some Ironhorse stuff. As a matter of fact, we only do maybe two Trooper songs.
Like
two or three.
What's Your Hurry, Darling?
Yeah, we do that from the Ironhorse days, plus some of the songs that maybe people are less familiar with. A song called When the Symphony Is Over.
Right.
But we've taken that and orchestrated it, in a sense. And that's a song that's a perfect example of what we do live. We put in a lot of visual things to the song, and it's become I'm the kind of guy who, if someone says, you've got 3 days to come up with a double-sided album, I would do it. But if they don't, I won't. So I have a lot of songs that I still haven't really fully developed. I'll have little ideas sitting around, but until the time comes, I don't really take it any further. My favorite song right now is a song called You Better Stop, and everybody that's heard it so far is saying, boy, that's one. And so I hope that someday we'll get that, recorded.
Before we let you go, could you tell us about the flip? Oh, it's not there. Okay. Tell us about the flip of Beam Me Up, Scotty.
Appearing live tonight.
How old is that song?
How old is that song? Actually, that was done around the same time as
Legend
Beam Me Up,
well.
Scotty, at Legend, yeah. What can I say? One thing that's interesting about it, it describes a wizard or a charlatan, a carny guy, basically. And so the whole song is about this magician, but the parallel in the song is that the guy who is making the move on the girl, watch the hands kind of thing. This guy's up to no good.
Svengali or something.
Yeah. That's basically what that song's about.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck with the band. And when can we see you around town?
Okay. Yeah, 18th to 21st at the Coach House.
We'll talk to you again when the album comes out, eh?
Yeah, hopefully before that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Our guest today, Frank Ludwig.